to episode 4 of Movies at 20, where we look back at movies that are 20 years old at the US box office this week. And this time we get ourselves some Denzel. Love some Denzel. Starring, amongst others, Denzel Washington, Ray Allen, Mila Jovovich, John Turturro, Rosario Dawson, directed by Spike Lee off of a script that he also wrote. This is my review for He Got Game.
Bet he can finally beat you.
One-on-one, and this will be the most important decision in your life.
Don't blow it.
He Got Game was number 1 at the US box office 20 years ago today, and it held on to the top spot for just 1 week. It focuses on Denzel's Jake Shuttleworth, who was sent to prison for accidentally killing his wife and mother of his children. Jake is released by the governor of the prison temporarily and is promised that he will get a reduced sentence provided he convinces his talented basketball-playing son, who doesn't very much like him, is just called Jesus, to join the college team. First up, and this probably goes without saying, Denzel Washington is superb here. I don't think I've seen a movie where he's given a bad performance. Even the movies of his that are subpar, sort of not so great Denzel movies, he is still very good in. He still adds so much to those movies that he's in, even if they're not that great themselves. Jake here, he isn't a lively character, and it makes Denzel play the role in a very subdued manner, and he's very good at understating performances and not playing them up. He keeps the performance restrained here as well, and it's really nice to see, and as such, Jake, he feels like a real person, as opposed to just a character in a film. And the whole movie is like that, really. I didn't think I was watching, well, I knew I was, but it didn't feel as if I was watching a movie a lot of the time. It felt more like I was peering into the lives of these characters, and these people feel as though they genuinely exist in the real world. This is achieved thanks to a brilliant script and some wonderful directing by Spike Lee. He allows these characters room to talk, and there's so many scenes that just consist of people sitting down and just talking to each other. These characters have long, drawn-out conversations, and these chats that they have are allowed to come about naturally, and they're allowed to progress naturally as well. They feel like just genuine conversations that people would have. Too often in film, when characters sit down and talk, it's to deliver exposition. It's all about moving the story forward rather than taking the time to find out who these characters actually are. And He Got Game, it doesn't really fall into that trap. It also makes some interesting choices as to how the film is presented. A musical score underlines so much of what's going on here. It plays almost continuously throughout the entire thing, and it plays at points where you wouldn't normally expect a musical score to happen. You wouldn't expect to hear one. Just two characters just sitting down and talking, for example, has this music playing over the top of it, and I'm a bit conflicted on this because on the one hand it gives He Got Game a certain feel to it, like it's distinct, it's its own thing, but then at the same time as well, I find it to be a little bit distracting on quite a lot of occasions. Actually, I found that it often took away from what was happening on the screen. A great and involving conversation between Jake and girlfriend Lala towards the conclusion is an example of just where I found I would have liked to have focused on the words a little bit more than these guys were saying, and how they were feeling, because it's a very, very important scene. And instead, I just found that the music took it away a little bit. It took me out of the moment. It was almost as if these characters were being drowned out a little bit by the music that was playing. So, yeah, as I say, it gives it a feel, but it was also a bit of an odd choice. I kind of wish they showed a little bit more restraint there. Speaking of those two characters, by the way, it's not just Washington who delivers here. NBA star Ray Allen, who I'm not a big NBA fan. I've heard of Ray Allen, but yeah, I'm not familiar with him. But he gives a great performance here. He shows he's got some real acting chops, and I don't think he's really used those chops too much since. I did have a brief look at his filmography. I guess when he got a filmography, actually, he hasn't done that little. I think he did one more movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a shame because he's very, very good. Just like everybody else, really, he gives an incredibly natural performance that helps me understand where he's at, and more importantly, it makes me want him to succeed. It makes me invest in his character, and that's obviously it's down to the writing as well, but a large part of that is down to the performance. Rosario Dawson, she's fantastic as well, as does everyone, really, and special mention to Mila Jovovich here too, whose name I really struggle saying. I really struggle. Mila. I'm not even going to try and say it again now. I'll keep doing it wrong. But I'm so used to seeing her as part of the Resident Evil franchise and just seeing her in these dumb, silly movies that I forget that she's actually a great actress. And this is a great film to watch if you want to see an example of the sort of thing that she can do. Her role as prostitute Dakota, it's a very complex role, and she handles it extremely well. And at first, and I still do to a degree, find it to be a bit of an unnecessary subplot. Her performance in this, it drags me in so much, it draws me in so much that I'm fully invested in what's going on with her. I'm enjoying watching this. So yeah, while I think this movie could have done without it, at the same time I'm pleased we kept it in purely for her. While this is an absorbing movie, like if you concentrate on it, it does, as I said before, it draws you in. It does run a little bit long though. As much as I hate praising it for allowing these characters time to tell the story, it does on occasion feel as though it would have been better if it was streamlined just a little bit. There were times where I wanted things to get moving, and it felt as if it was stalling for time at some points, even dragging things out on occasion. That being said though, there was a lot I like here, and this is a movie filled with interesting characters who aren't clear-cut with who they are. Take Jake, Denzel Washington's character, for example. I appreciate the fact that while he was in prison for accidental murder, and the whole time I was just like, oh, it was accidental, like it'd be nice if he can get out. When it comes time to reveal what happened at that accidental murder, it doesn't take an easy way out, and it left me unsure as whether this was a man I actually wanted to achieve his goal. And it's always nice when a story isn't afraid to have a character placed in morally grey areas, to show what happened, and it's a brutal scene that happens. It shows this man's temper, and that he's a very angry person who struggles controlling his emotions. Seeing it play out, yeah, I'd gone from, okay, it'd be nice if he gets his way, if he does get his sentence reduced, and very quickly it was, oof, do I want him to? Does he deserve to? I don't know, and it's refreshing to have this not so clear cut. I'm going to give He Got Game an 8 out of 10. This is a little shorter than I tend to want the movies at 20 reviews to be. They're films I usually like to include footage of, and just little funny moments here and there, and outtakes from the film. I like to put them in the video, but it's a film that I didn't feel I could do that with. It didn't seem to open itself up to that kind of video, so I've approached it more as just a standard review. And I imagine as Movies and 20s goes on, that's going to happen from time to time. Not every film's going to be one that I can have fun with in a review. But I'm pleased I saw it. It's one of those films that I don't think have watched if it wasn't part of this Movies at 20 schedule that I've got going. So yeah, again, I'm pleased I'm doing this. It's making me see films that I would never normally have seen. Have you seen He Got Game? If you have, let me know what you thought about it. Do tell me either in the comments here, just down below, I think, yeah. Or you can get in touch with me on Twitter as well. My handle on there, @JoePJulians, should be appearing along the bottom now. You can follow me on the Stardust app as well. If you're not familiar with Stardust, it's an app where you can record your reactions to things between 3 to 30 second long videos. But 3 seconds, I don't know what you do in 3 seconds. But your reactions to TV shows, to films, to trailers, it's great fun to be a part of. So yeah, if you're on there, do find me. My username's just Joe Julians. Again, put that along the bottom there. Movies at 20 will be back next week, and it's what I'm looking forward to. Deep Impact, the first of 2. Oh no, the world's doomed by an asteroid, what are we going to do? Movies that we're going to come across this year. I don't think the next one's too far after it, actually. I also think this is He Got Game is the last movie for a while that I hadn't seen that was number 1. I think the next few, at least, I've seen before. So I'm excited to look at them again just to see if my opinion changes on them or not. Thank you very much for watching. A like and a subscribe would be great. If you did like this video and you do want to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it if you did. That would be cool. Hello to the new subscribers, by the way. It's gone up a little bit. We've got a few more, so welcome. It's great to have you here. Talk to me. Get in touch with me in the comments. Let's have chats. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.